Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you're probably wondering what the title of this video means or how it's even pronounced. Trichotillomania is hair loss from repeated urges of pulling and twisting the hair until it breaks off. It's a behavioral disorder which is impulsive. 4% of our population is affected by this. And the reason we're gonna be talking about this, well, I suffer from this condition heavily. And it's kind of an awkward and very, very personal thing for me to even be opening up about. A lot of people that I've known throughout my life have never even known about this. A very small group of people know. So it's kind of like I'm telling everybody right now. This is kind of crazy. But in my heart, I felt like it was the right thing to do because I want to share this struggle. I feel like there are people out there that can benefit from this. You're the only person that could change things in your life in the way they are. So if you're unhappy, you need to change that. And no one else can do that for you. Also, I feel like even telling you guys this is holding me accountable now, where I have to really stop pulling my eyelashes. So now it's just out there and I can't be walking around eyelashless. I have to prove myself. I think you guys should grab some popcorn. This might take some time. Grab your popcorn, sit, and I'll explain everything to you. There are different stages and different severities of how people are affected by this. For me, it started when I was about 10 years old. It started with pulling my eyelashes, all of them, and my hair. I used to have a bald spot on my head about this big. Comes and goes in phases, but I'll get more into it. The symptoms of trichotillomania, when you start feeling really stressed or you have anxiety, you resort to pulling your eyelashes or hair or eyebrows or whatever. After you pull the hair, you feel relieved. You get pleasure while you're pulling the hair. Wherever you grow hair, there are bare patches. And sometimes this can lead to bleeding. And then some behaviors include when you do pull the hair, you look at the root of the hair for a really long time, you dissect it, get all Inspector Gadget with it. For the causes, obviously there's no concrete answer for what causes this, but it could be triggered by a traumatic life event. If you have severe anxiety or OCD, it could cause you to have trichotillomania. Now you're probably wondering, well, how are you diagnosed with this? They don't really know what causes it, so you can't really be diagnosed with this either. There's no test. Now let's talk about treatments. Well, technically, since there is no way to figure out the cause or the cure, there can really be no treatment either, but these are ways that you can help yourself in going down the right path. You can either go to therapy, which there they would just find ways to control your behavior and really practice habit reversal training, where you're replacing a bad habit with something that's not harmful. And the other alternative would be medication, which medication isn't necessarily the way for everyone. For me personally, I suffer from anxiety so much that it doesn't really I don't think that taking medicine is gonna really solve the problem. It's temporary and once you're off of it, it'll come back. You reduced your stress level, you can really prevent the urges from arising constantly in your life. To do that, you really have to live a healthy lifestyle. I mean, obviously we all get stressed. It's inevitable, you can't really control it. Working out, eating healthy, sleeping properly, it just regulates your health and decreases the stress level, possibly. I'm still working on it. Okay, now let's jump into my story. I'm just trying to put it off. It's so awkward to talk about it. Whew, okay. The whole point of this is to be honest, so I feel like you guys need to hear the series of events that triggered this bad habit. The divorce of my parents. I was really affected by it negatively, and I was old enough where I understood everything that was happening, so it was pretty traumatizing. And I remember, to alleviate the stress, I would just start pulling my hair, and it felt so good. I couldn't stop. And that kind of snowballed over the years. First of all, let's put it out on the table that I am not a good liar by any means. I just cannot lie. But, you know, somehow I came up with some astronomical, crazy stories to tell people. Once this girl was like, oh, what happened to your eyelashes? You don't have any. And I said something like, I was nairing my legs and I had some of the nair on my hands and I accidentally touched my eyes and then my eyelashes melted off. Okay, so that was the story that I had in elementary school, and then it progressed to high school where I was like, oh, I was wearing fake eyelashes and I had the wrong glue, and when I took the fake eyelashes off, it pulled all my lashes with it. So that story stuck with me up until probably later in life. Another really challenging thing to deal with when you have this disorder. If you're in a relationship or you're dating someone, it's a really awkward thing to talk about. I actually don't think that any of my boyfriends ever really knew about this situation, probably maybe one or two. And yeah, I for the most part kept it a secret. I remember I was always like, oh, I've gotta make sure I have my fake eyelashes on. And it was so annoying because if you're working out, you can't wear fake eyelashes sometimes. The glue starts melting off. It's awkward. And if you're sweating, it's just, it doesn't go together. So after middle school, I stopped pulling my eyelashes completely. And I was really good up until college, where I had a boyfriend, and we were just like really immature and children basically. Well, that stress caused me to get back into the habit of pulling my eyelashes, and I remember when I started, I was like, no. And then after community college, I transferred to UCI, which if you don't live in California, it stands for University of California, Irvine. Represent. I think that it was just really stressful with quarter system, finals, midterms within like every 3 weeks. And then my grandpa passed away, which was just like really heartbreaking for me. I was really close to him, and yeah, it was just really sad. I can't even talk about it because I'm gonna get emotional. So my eyelash pulling habits started kind of creeping up, and I was tricking out hardcore. I had no eyelashes on both eyes. It was really, really not cute. So it wasn't until recently where the situation got even worse. I was in this really serious relationship, which I was super invested in. I didn't realize how intense this person was. They were just not the match for me. Just really angry, and it made my anxiety go woo, like to the next level. Once that ended, thank God, I just lost all control and my eyelashes were just all gone. And I remember sitting down and being like, okay, dude, this is not the way of life. Control yourself. And there's the story. I feel so relieved sharing the story with you guys. It definitely gets in the way of my daily activities. I can't just run out of the house. I have to find a pair of eyelashes, and don't forget that eyelash glue. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely inconvenient. And I don't want to live my life like that anymore. It's just all willpower and really controlling your urges, your impulsive urges. Let's talk about the things that I did personally that I was able to revive this eye back to life. I put Vaseline, and that way I couldn't pull. I'd cut my nails really, really short so I couldn't grip the hair. But then I got really advanced and I'd go get tweezers and do it, which is not good. So if you have tweezers, hide them, hide your kids, hide your wives. You don't want that around you. It's dangerous temptation. It'll help you to stop tricking out. Tricking on the low, mobbing on the low. Another thing that helps is being around people who you are not on that level where you can pull your lashes in front of. So that's all I have to say. If you want to share your story, I will put my email down below. You can email me. I would love to hear from you. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram, make sure to follow me. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all under Beta Beauty. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.